Good morning. It's UPBOptionMillionaires.com. It is Halloween. It's a Friday. It's October 31st, 2014. And if you went to sleep last night short this market, you woke up to your worst nightmare. Stock futures absolutely rallying on the heels of the further stimulus by the central bank over in Japan. Was completely unexpected, and you can see the move up. Nikkei futures were up some 7+% early on. I mean, that's 1,400 Dow Jones Industrial Average points. A pretty amazing move, and you can see this chart over the last year for the Nikkei 225 stock futures, just kind of meandering along. It's like, oh, slow growth, and it's like, bing, all right, more asset price manipulation by the central banks. I'll buy that, and the market is just soaring here. Let's look at gold. Gold is taking a hit, continues to trade to the downside. Of course, if you trade it in peso terms, you're up, because that's what we like to do when we're ambiguous about the market. You can see this gap down, and what this is going to do, and you can see this trend line. That's why I love having chart software that keeps trend lines that I put in from years past. A lot of times I'll go back to a chart, haven't seen it for, I don't know, 6 to 9 months, and there'll be a trend line I put in, and price action just conforms to trend lines, support, and resistance. It's amazing how it works. And you can see this beautiful channel that GLD was in. It's now just below it, and look to get back into that channel, which is going to bring us back to 2009 lows. Pretty amazing. I thought you were supposed to buy gold in this environment where central banks are printing money hand over fist. The bond market, again, another reason why you keep long-term trend lines in. That 119.50 level is right now where we are at. And that, again, is going to be a key level. Are we going to plunge down to 110, or is this going to act as support? Overseas, we have low yields on government bonds. So that's keeping the demand here in the U.S. strong, and perhaps that's why this, again, is going to act as support. We'll see. We're pulling back from this blow-off top, and this indeed could be the blow-off top for the record levels for TLT getting sold here. Let's look at Apple, which hit a new record high today. It's pulling back a little bit. This chart looks beautiful back in May of 2013. I pointed out this W bottom, talked about it, did a video, wrote on the blog at optionmillionaires.com, said we were going to head to new record highs. And sure enough, here we are. Carl Icahn got into the trade as well. And if you look from the long-term chart, I bring this up periodically. We're in leg number 3. Okay, we had first leg, second leg, and this brought us to September 2012 highs. Pull back, and this is the third leg, which is going to bring us up to 120, 130, 140 possibly before pulling back like we did the previous legs. Let's go to Google, which is also rallying here. Look at the supports. This is why you draw these trend lines. This is a long-term 10-year monthly chart. It's got a nice hammer, and again, this is going to break out to new record highs, just like the rest of the market is right now. Let's look at some of the financials. JP Morgan, I was talking about how these charts are broken. It's amazing what 2 weeks of relentless buying will do. And we've seen it. I've talked about it in the chat room at Option Millionaires. Look, we briefly dropped below this channel here. Now we're heading up to record highs here really quickly on JP Morgan Chase. Goldman Sachs, same thing here. We're above the resistance line. We broke through it. Looks like we're going to head up into the 200s for Goldman. Spectacular. When it's falling, it's Goldman sucks. How about Twitter? I was thinking it was going to pull back to the gap down that it saw its last earnings report. Obviously, a 10-year monthly chart is not going to do it justice here. This was the earnings report back in July. We had the gap up. I figured this gap was going to get filled here. We just about filled it. We're starting to move up, and I think this is going to be a $100 stock in the next 6 to 9 months. But what do I know? Let's look at XLE, which is actually pulling back a bit here. And you know why XLE is pulling back? And again, this $80 level acts as great support. The reason XLE is pulling back is because oil is plunging. USO is down some 1.63%, as are gold and silver and some of the commodities. But if you look from a long-term chart perspective, we could be seeing 29. See this? There's a long-term support here. So we could be pulling back to 29. And guess what? Everybody talks about oil falling, how it's hurting the energy companies. But guess what? It helps the consumer. And gas prices are falling around the country. That's good news for the consumer. We had earnings reports from Expedia. Let's look at Priceline today, which is recovering a lot of its losses. It's up some 2.86%. You can see this former resistance line, now support. We're looking for a move back up to almost $1,300. That would keep us in the channel. We had Expedia report earnings today, up 4%. How about GoPro, which is continuing to defy the bears who continue to write bearish articles about the stock and think it's just a camera on a stick. A camera on a stick. You can look at this gap up. Earnings almost over $80 here. It was up earlier over $80. So we had a nice consolidation pullback. Maybe a little overbought here short term, but it looks like it's heading to triple digits. Speaking of triple digits, Alibaba hit triple digits. Was it yesterday? Let's just pull up the 10-day chart. 2 days ago it was over $100. Still consolidating. Alibaba looks poised. Amazon, are we over 300? Yeah, we're everybody on the earnings report was saying sell, 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 sell. And look, the stock is doing just the opposite. Isn't that amazing how that works? Sell, sell, sell. It's like, yeah, the Alibaba top, the market is top, sell, sell, sell. We're in a bear market. Look at this, the Abenomics trend line. We kissed it briefly, came back above it. Now we've gapped above it. This looks very bullish. This is SP 500. Everybody was talking about it. Just a couple bear market. Here's the bear market. I mean, how many bear market posts do we have? People talking about a bear market on Twitter, and then that marked the bottom. We had Mr. Gartman come on CNBC. Oh, it's a bear market. I am neutral long stocks in short terms. Whatever gets me another appearance, I really don't care. And then we're bounced right over this line. So, all right, UPB, everyone have a happy Halloween. Check your candy before you eat it. There might be some QE in it. I don't know. That's not even funny. All right, and we're getting that pullback, but guess what? Since the lows in March 2009, the market opens, we pull back a little bit, we consolidate, and guess what's going to happen? Like this, look. Close at record highs. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you in the chat room at optionmillionaires.com. JB has been all over dust in the wind. Look at this, at 47.50, pulling back a little bit, but up 11% today. Woo! Did a great post at the blog at optionmillionaires.com. All right, I'll see you in the chat room. Everyone, if I don't see you in the chat room, have a great weekend. And wow, it's just, you know what? Hey, stocks at record high prices. Central banks been manipulating asset prices for years. So anybody who's been shorting this market, you're fighting someone with an unlimited credit card. Somebody who can spend money forever, really, until everything just blows up. And at that point in time, it's not going to matter anyway, right? So you might as well be making money up until that point. All right, goodbye.